Jim, good morning.
Good morning.
So last week we talked about one of our spiritual abilities called clairvoyance.
Right.
Another one that we have many, but another one is clear hearing. Clairvoyance is clear seeing, and then there's clear hearing, clairaudience.
Right. So this is there are a number of parts to hearing, clairaudience being a very clear one. And that's the place where a lot of times you just kind of hear a voice in your head, not channeling, but just kind of a voice in your head, or you have an awareness of it's like a voice says, do this. There's multiple components to that, but it's the voice that you hear clearly. So that's beginning to expand in a lot of people's awareness, and partly the expansion of the clairaudient level is also a little disconcerting because you are hearing a lot more noise, a lot more of the motion going on around you is actually being heard at a level that when you are quiet, you can kind of move that noise aside and hear what you're interested in
like
hearing.
Other people's thoughts? Or people from far away?
Yeah, now it starts to get complex here, but yes. So you basically, in a way, you think you're talking to yourself in your head. Now that too has multiple pieces to it, but a lot of times that conversation is you having conversations with other people. You ever do that? You're just simply saying, why did you do that? And you get in arguments with people. That's going on, and the mechanism is clairaudience. Now there's another component of that called telepathy, and telepathy is really a very valuable skill set, but most people find it extremely annoying when they're aware of it at all. So have you ever been in a situation where you finish people's sentences? And a lot of times people go, oh, that's so rude, and etc. But no, it's a very valuable skill set, and that happens in a very specific way. If you notice, people that you like, people that you enjoy, or siblings, whether you enjoy them or not, you get into something that would be called a match. I like you because you're like me. And in that match, siblings, because you grow up with them and it happens automatically. But in terms of generally, it's the relationship of when I'm engaged with you, it's like, yeah, this is really good. You'll say something and I'll finish the sentence. Now, where it gets annoying for people is that finishing the sentence a lot of time is unmanaged. Yeah. And so people just blurt out things, and that creates an irritation in some cases. But if you can begin to get in present time, a lot of the tools that are taught in level 1, level 2, and stay on your side of the rows and observe, you realize you all of a sudden know what these people are going to say. And as you make it a game, you know what the next word is, and then all of a sudden you know what the next sentence is, you know what the next paragraph is, you know where they're going to go. And a lot of times I use that a lot, and it's a great asset. In a conference, for example, I'll get people coming up and they want to tell me a 45-minute story about their life, and then they say, oh, and I have this question. And so kind of just being connected in that telepathic, it's really easy to kind of cut it off and say, I bet you want to know this. It's like, oh yeah, how did you know? Because I want to talk to the other 42 people. So telepathy is very useful. There's another part of telepathy that you see really good orators, really good speakers,
good teachers,
good politicians, if that's an oxymoron, but politicians that are very capable. They will give a speech and they will draw your emotions up and bring them down and move you to this attention point and move you to that. That's that broadband telepathy. You're able to be engaged with a large audience, not just one-on-one.
This would be like Martin Luther King or Mandela.
Sure. John Kennedy and Teddy Kennedy particularly, they were really good at this, particularly Teddy Kennedy.
So they're reading the room. They're looking at all the people as energy, and those people light up, oh, I have a question about this. That reminds me of my mother. something.
Yeah, and it's like looking at the audience and you want to convey something, and it's clairvoyance in one way too, but clairaudience and telepathy is where you find yourself just looking at this grouping of people, and then you're looking at that grouping, and what you're really looking at is their emotional state, visually or in the other spiritual abilities, and you are able to direct to that vibration
You're really
your
good
intention.
at that. You're
Your
really
intention.
good at that.
So that's a real valuable skill set that comes into play also. But the reason we're talking about these is you're going to find over the coming year, 2 years, 3 years, that you're going to begin to see things and recognize, oh, I just saw that the other day. You might not remember it at the time, but here comes a circumstance. And the value of these skills being understood is you're about to approach a period of time that is going to be chaotic, not necessarily from drama, but chaotic from the standpoint of a massive amount of choices are going to be presented. And a lot of those presented choices are going to be juxtaposed to where there is conflict in. If you do this, you can't do that. And so these skills, as you begin to develop them, also provide a valuable opportunity to begin to get into a space where 1 and 1 is 3.
Yeah.
Where you can kind of step above and see the chaos of an event and really just say, what if we do this? And that broadband telepathy starts to work the group of people, whether you are playing in a group or whether you are just starting to have a communication with the world and about bringing a better planet into place. So these skills are going to become very, very useful.
Yeah, let's talk about clairsentience maybe, and knowing this next time.
Okay, so we'll make this short this time, but clairsentience, let's just give them a little piece of that.
Okay.
From the standpoint of it's all about clear feeling. Now we did clear seeing, clear hearing, clear feeling. But a great part of how your personality is structured, how you navigate the world, is directly related to how you understand your second chakra and this sense of feeling the world. And many times people feel the world through very false filters that they've created from fear or protection. But we can talk about that next week.
Cool.
Great. Okay, let's go have coffee.